About 2 weeks ago, I was playing in an arena and I got paired against an international master and an FM. I actually managed to win both games, and today I've decided to share one of the games, the one I played against an international master. Okay, so I started with 1d4 and I intended to play the London system, but it quickly transposed to the exchange variation of the Caro-Kann, and he developed this knight, and so did I. He plays f6, which the engine says is a slight inaccuracy, but it can be a useful move in the exchange Caro-Kann, usually with g6 to try to break with e5. I pinned his knight, he breaks the pin, I develop my knight. Although I have to say this is not usually the optimum way to develop your pieces in the exchange variation of the Caro-Kann. Normally the bishop comes to d3, you put your pawn here, and then the knight goes to d2. I played e6, I castled, and he brought his queen out. I played rook e1 and I was threatening to take because his pawn was pinned to the king. You obviously see this, and he develops his knight. And here the move the engine likes is bishop f1, and to put your knight on b5 with the idea that okay, so bishop f1, suppose a6. The idea is to put your knight on b5 and you're actually threatening a check or to come into one of these squares. But I didn't see this and I played bishop d6. My idea was to suppose he moves his knight anywhere, I would take and he would have to take with the king or the rook, then he would lose his castling rights. So he attacked my bishop and I gained a tempo on the queen. The queen moved back to c7. This bishop was attacked, so I moved it back, keeping an eye on this diagonal. He castled long, which the engine says is a mistake, and it actually looked like a mistake to me during the game. I went for b5. I went for b4 with the idea to play b5 to open things up on the queen side and bring my rooks and my queen in somehow to attack him. He played knight f5 and I played b5. He takes, I take back with the knight, once again attacking the queen. He had to move the queen, and here I went for c4. Again, the idea was to take and bring the rook to open up his king, but this is a mistake because the engine says bishop takes bishop. I take back, he can take my pawn, and even if I win this pawn, I cannot open the c file because I can take my own pawn. He takes my pawn first and I moved my rook to the b file, and now he correctly takes my bishop. I take back, he moved the knight, I gave a check, he takes, and I actually can take back here first because then he takes my bishop and he's gaining tempo on my queen. So I had to take first with the check, he takes with the rook, and I finally take back the knight. He moves his knight to the center. And here I was getting low on time. He was up 30 seconds and I was trying to keep up. So I attacked his pawn and he captured my pawn. I captured his pawn. He moves his rook, attacking my queen, and I moved my queen to g4, putting pressure on his pawn. And here he makes a mistake. He plays g5 and the pawn was hanging, so I took it. I took, and he moved the king out of check. And here I had a really nice opportunity. I missed it. I played queen f5. The move which I was supposed to go for was queen c6, and I'm actually threatening mate. If you defend with the queen, then the knight is hanging, and if you play something like b6, then I can come with the rook. I'm threatening the queen and I'm threatening the knight. However, I played queen f5, which the engine says it's a mistake. I think it's more of a miss. He captured my pawn and I brought my knight closer to his king. I wanted to give a check, although I don't think that does anything useful. I was once again very low on time. He played rook c1, until the engine says just grab a pawn, but I moved my rook away from his queen, which is actually a blunder because he gains tempo on my rook. I have to move it, and here he's seizing the initiative. The best move is actually queen c4 to give a check. He gives a check first. Now I can take because the knight was saying, and I actually didn't see that he had this tactic. He takes my queen, and the first thing that I see is if I take the queen, the rook comes to c1, and that's GG's because I block. Then he takes my rook and it's checkmate. And I believe after 6 seconds I was really happy to play queen takes c8. This comes with a check, so he has to take. I took the queen, and I was very low on time. I had 16 seconds, and the next move I really just blitzed them out. I knew I had to win this game, so we played, and I took the pawn. He takes back, and I played h4 to make sure there's nothing he can do over this side. Moved the king, and yeah, he took the pawn. I moved his king to the corner. I kept pushing him back. He goes back, he goes back. And here the fastest way to mate is you bring your rook to c6 and then he has to go back, then you mate. I missed it because I was very low on time. I went back and the king reaches the right square. Now he has to go back and I delivered mate.